All right, let's dive into something that, it's way more common than people admit. That feeling that maybe, just maybe, you're starting to outgrow your friends. We're going to break down why that happens. And here's the big thing, how to see it not as you being a bad friend, but as a totally natural part of your own growth. So let's start right there with that feeling. You know the one, right? You leave a get-together with friends you've known forever, and instead of feeling, buzzed and happy, you just feel wiped out, drained. It's this really confusing feeling, and honestly, it can come with a side of guilt. But that feeling, that's usually the very first clue that something's starting to change. And look, we're not talking about some big, dramatic fight or a huge falling out. No. This is way more subtle. It's this quiet, internal shift that changes how you connect with people you used to be, perfectly in sync with. Okay, first things first, let's get this straight. The love you have for these friends, the history, that's all real. That doesn't just vanish. But here's the thing about connection. It's not set in stone. As you grow, what you need from your friendships, well, that changes too. So what we're really digging into here is a shift in the kind of connection you're looking for now. So what do we even call this feeling? Well, it turns out there's actually a name for it. A concept that just perfectly explains that weird, hard to pin down feeling of disconnect. It's called value drift, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's this idea that over time, your core values, your lifestyle, even your whole mindset, they can slowly, almost without you noticing, just drift away from where the rest of the group is. And that draining feeling we talked about, think of it like friction. It's the friction you feel from that growing gap. Okay, so how does this value drift actually happen? I mean, it's not like you wake up one day and everything's different, right? It's a process. And it's usually tied to something really deep, how our friends see us and how we're starting to see ourselves. And here's the absolute heart of it. Your social circle, with all those amazing shared memories and inside jokes, well, sometimes it can act like an anchor. They remember the you from 5, maybe 10 years ago. And without even meaning to, their expectations can keep you stuck, tied to a version of yourself you're actively trying to grow out. This whole thing, you could call it identity stagnation, and it usually unfolds in a few stages. So first, the group keeps reinforcing that old you, the person you were. But at the same time, your own mindset is starting to change. So step 3, this mismatch starts to pop up between who you're becoming and who they think you are. And as that gap gets bigger, you start craving different things, different kinds of connections. And then finally, it clicks. That vague little drift becomes a conscious thought. You don't just feel it anymore, you know it. Things are different.
So here's the thing. Understanding all this isn't about pointing fingers or feeling guilty. It's about completely reframing the whole experience, seeing it not as a betrayal, but as something really powerful, a sign that you are growing.
And this really nails the mismatch, doesn't it? On one side, you've got your old self, kind of kept in place by all that history and what the group expects from you. And on the other side, that's your evolving self, the you that's being pulled forward by a new way of thinking, a hunger for new experiences. And that exhaustion we keep talking about, that's what happens when you're trying to be both people at the same time. It's a lot. And this is what's driving everything. It's not about rejecting your old friends. It's a pull, a positive pull towards something else. It's that craving for connections that just feel deeper, calmer, more in line with who you are right now, today. So look, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Your brain isn't being mean or difficult. It's just being logical. It's recognizing a mismatch between your inner world and your social world. And that feeling isn't a red flag for failure or betrayal. It's the feeling of your own personal evolution happening in real time. And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? If we can accept that this drift is natural, that it's just part of growing up, then the whole question changes. It stops being, ugh, why is this happening to me? And it becomes, okay, what does this new version of me need next? And just shifting your focus like that, that's how you move from feeling stuck in the past to getting excited about the future. So the real question is, what's your next step?